Good morning and good day. Good morning and good day. Welcome to another installment of Kingdom Things with me, your host, Ashley Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner by the way of Source, by the way of the Most High, by the way of Father, Mother, God, by the way of the Eternal Spirit, whatever you like to call the energy behind what is. That is who appointed me as my role, being a spiritual practitioner, a spiritual healer. Now, in this world right now, we're looking external into the world. Things appear to be hectic. Things appear to be crazy. Things appear to be out of sorts. But I want to let you know, right now, as a society, we are shifting. We are upgrading. We are ascending. As a society, humanity is awakening to our truth. Humanity is awakening to our truth. And what is our truth? We are a lot more than we were programmed to believe we are. We are so much more than we were programmed to believe that we are. We are eternal spirits with no beginning and no end, having a human experience. We are eternal spirits, eternal lights, eternal energies with no beginning and no end, having a human experience. We've been programmed to believe that we are our bodies. We've been programmed to believe that we are our identities that we create, our names, our jobs, our families, our financial status, our social status. We've been programmed to believe that we are these things. We've been programmed to believe that our value lies in these things. But no. We are eternal spirits seated with the energy of God, the Most High Source. We are eternal spirits that spawn from the Most High energy, the Supreme Creator energy, God, Goddess. We spawn from this energy. So what does that mean? We are ultimate creators in and of our own rights. We are gods and goddesses in and of our own rights. We are eternal energies having a human experience, walking the planet Earth. And with humanity waking up to this realization, the systems and the programmings and the ways of being that we operated under before, we no longer fit in those boxes. We no longer fit in those boxes that were created under our old perceptions of who we were. We no longer fit in the systems and the traditions and the ways of being that we operated under before, because we are so much grander than those boxes that we attempted to stuff ourselves in, that we made ourselves smaller to fit in. We are so much grander than the systems that were created under the old perceptions of who we were. We are infinite beings in an infinite universe. You and I are infinite beings residing in an infinite universe. Unlimited energy, unlimited abundance, unlimited health, unlimited joy, unlimited happiness. That is what you can find within and within our true dwellings of the unlimited universe as an infinite being. So any perceptions of limitation, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't have this, I can't have that, that is an illusion. Any perceptions of limitations, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't be that, I can't be this, those are illusions. You are an infinite being residing in an infinite universe with infinite possibilities. And where do you access these infinite possibilities? Internally. You are. You are the infinite possibilities. You access this internally. Internally. Thank you again for joining Kingdom Things Podcast. Let's get into it. So I want to start with God sees us all as love. I want to start with God sees us all as love. When God peers upon us, when God looks at us, when God gazes upon the planet Earth, God sees love. God sees Father, Mother, God's self. God sees Father, Mother, God's reflection when it gazes upon the planet Earth. God sees itself. God sees us all as love. And the problem is we have a hard time seeing ourselves. We have a hard time seeing ourselves because, again, there's so many things that we are told that we are that we succumb to and that we take on as our identities without realizing or tapping into or activating our truth of our eternal beingness. Our truth of our eternal beingness. So when it comes to self-acceptance, that's something that I've really been working through, because who am I? Who am I? I took this vow to do my best to love myself in every moment, because as I'm often reminded, in every moment I am always who I am supposed to be. In every moment I am always who I am supposed to be. So I'm definitely doing my best to love myself in every moment. And the thing about self-acceptance is the needle always moves, and you always feel like you're striving for something when you don't know who you are, when you don't know your truth. When you don't know your truth, you're always feeling like there's something else that you need to obtain, something else that you need to achieve, something else that you need to acquire, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know your truth. Myself, I have dealt with the notion of being an overachiever. An overachiever, I always felt like I had to prove myself. I always felt like I had to prove myself in this world with being someone who did not feel of this world, feeling different. I always felt like I had to work harder to prove myself in this world. With feeling like that I was not of this world, feeling different from my environment, feeling different and out of place from society, I always felt like I had to prove myself. But God sees us all as love. There is nothing that you have to do or be to be accepted and loved by God. There is nothing that you have to do or be to be accepted and loved by God. And who are you in your truest form? You are a god or goddess walking the planet Earth in your truest form. So there's nothing that you have to do or be outside of who you are in this moment to be accepted by God. So there's no reason why we can't accept ourselves in every moment. In every moment. There's no reason why we can't come to the space, find a place within us where we can accept ourselves. Because God accepts you. Father, Mother, God accepts you and loves you and sees you as his or her love. So where is the space inside of you where you can be accepting of yourself in every moment of every day that you show up in? Where is that space in you? The energy of God and yourself is not separate. The energy of God and yourself is one. The energy of God and yourself is not separate. The energy of God and yourself is one. And that's the thing, that's the notion, that's the beingness that source energy, that spirit really wants to awaken in humanity, is the fact that you are not separate from spirit. You are not separate from God, Goddess. You are not separate from Father, Mother, God. You are not separate from Source. You are not separate from the Central Sun. Yourself and spirit are one. And that's the paradigm shift that the spirit world, that God really wants to activate in humanity. Because with activating that knowingness within yourself, your truth, activating your truth, not only is it easier to accept yourself, because activating that truth, you're going to find a space within you that you resonate more than the labels that you took on when you were birthed into this world. That space within you that says, I am of God, I am a goddess. When you activate that energy within you that says, I am a God, I am a goddess, that energy within you, you're going to resonate with that more than any label you took on when you came into this world. And that's the space within you where you're going to be able to emanate self-acceptance and self-love and compassion for yourself. Society attempts to place us into these boxes, to describe, to name, to linearize our beingness. Society tries to place us in these boxes to linearize our beingness, when we are part human and part spirit. And that's not even the half of it. We are part human and part spirit, and that is not even the half of it. So getting to that point where you are able to identify that space in you that just is. It doesn't have any requests. It doesn't have any likes or dislikes. It doesn't have any needs. That space within you, that energy within you that just is. That space within you, that is your power. That is your power, because that is your peace. That space within you that doesn't need anything, that just is, doesn't have likes or dislikes, doesn't have labels. That space within you that just is, that energy is your superpower, because it is your peace. That energy is your truth. That energy is your truth. We come into this world where, again, the boxes, the societal boxes, the duality, so the right, left, the hot or cold, the right, wrong. Everyone has an opinion about something. Everyone says you should do this. Everyone says you should be this. If you do that, you're wrong. There's all this energy flying around that tries to tell you who you are, that tries to define you. But there's a space inside of you that just is, and that is your truth. Everything else is the perception of your physicality. Everything else that you experience in this world is just the perceptions of your physicality. Because in all truth, we are all, we live in the same world. We live in the same world, but yet we have all of these differences, different cultures, which is beautiful, different cultures, people experiencing life differently. And the reason why we can live in the same world and have so much variation and humanity is because of our internal environments, because of how we experience this world. Again, perception. We all live in the same world, but we have a different perception of this world. So you can see where you can get confused about where your place is in this world, what you're supposed to do in this world. But there's a space inside of you that just is. And that space inside of you is your eternal essence. That space inside of you is your eternal essence. What makes you tick? What makes you tick? What are the things that you do, and why do you do them? What are the things that you do, and why do you do them? If you observe your thoughts, observe yourself. If you observe yourself, you'll be able to see your thoughts moving, and you'll be able to see those thoughts actually aren't you. The thing that's observing the thoughts, that is who you are. The thing, the beingness that's observing the thoughts, that is who you are. And that is a space that God really wants the world to slow down and observe and internalize as far as your mind. Cognize it in your mind that we are not these things external to ourselves. We are not these labels. We are not these labels. We are not our names. We are not our occupations. We are not our jobs. We are not our bank accounts. We are not our social status. We are not our traditions, family traditions. We're not even our culture. We are the beingness that observes everything that goes on around you. And once you get to that space where you're able to understand this notion for yourself, when you're able to begin to observe your thoughts for yourself, that is where you find your true power, because that is your truth, your infinite beingness. And with coming in touch and practicing being in that state of just beingness, that is a state in which you're able to step back and not only observe your life, but you're able to begin to consciously create your life. You're able to begin to consciously create your life. From that space, you're able to consciously create thoughts and emotions and feelings in which you want your life to mirror. So in this space of beingness, you're able to create thoughts, feelings, emotions that reflect what you want your life to mirror. So instead of believing that we are the labels, instead of believing that we are our current occupations, our current jobs, our current bank accounts, our current relationships, you're able to step back and observe all of these things that we currently experience in the world from that place of beingness, your infinite beingness. And you're able to create the thoughts and emotions, feelings in which you want your life to mirror. You're able to become the conscious creator of your life and no longer be consumed by what the world is spitting out at you. You're no longer consumed or controlled by what the world is giving you, by what the society is giving you, the restrictions the society is giving you. You're no longer confined by those restrictions or those boxes. Instead, you step back into yourself and you become the observer of your life, observer of the world, and you consciously create what you want your life to actually reflect. That is when you become the conscious creator of your life. That is when you assume the God, Goddess essence of your eternal divinity. That is when you step into your truth. That is where you reach the point of self-acceptance, in which in every moment you're empowered by the notion that you are. You are. When we begin to operate from the space of beingness, when we begin to become the conscious creators of our lives, we will begin to understand that everything else outside of us that we were told was our truths, that we were told made us different from each other, that we were told created boundaries between each other, we'll begin to understand how those boundaries and differences are nothing more than illusions. And even within being illusions, we will understand that our differences are not something to pull us apart, but our differences are opportunities for us to grow together, for us to learn from each other, for us to expand together as a society. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today on Kingdom Things Podcast. Again, my name is Ashley Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner by the way of Source, by the way of God, Goddess, by the way of Father, Mother, God, by the way of the Most High, by the way of the Central Sun. After you're done listening to Kingdom Things, go ahead and go over to Wattpad and type in the Story of Asiyah in the search bar. Just like myself and many of us in this world, we're searching for our truth. We're searching for our path in this life. And Asiyah, she's doing just the same. A teenage girl growing up in New York City, coming from a background of tumultuous situations, and she is making it through to find herself. She's coming home to herself. So again, go over to Wattpad, search The Story of Asiyah. You'll see the first installment, The Story of Asiyah, Coming Home, The Story of Asiyah. And the second installment is The Story of Asiyah, I'm Home. The first installment has the pink cover, the second installment, the green cover. Read those. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it, what emotions and thoughts are evoked as you read it, any comparisons in your life. I'd be really happy to know how the story affects you, because it's definitely helped me in my process of growing and self-realization. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me today in Kingdom Things. You guys have a blessed day.